From high above Fieldside here at Maurice P. Schumann Field on the campus of Peddie School, this is High School Lacrosse on the Strive Network. And on this wonderful Saturday afternoon here in Hightstown, New Jersey, it's the Peddie School Falcons playing host today to the Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm. And it should be an excellent contest here this afternoon as we are just about to hit May and really the turning point of the season as we hit the stretch run for these two schools. And it should be a good contest here this afternoon, as we said. Mercersburg enters play today, their 12th game of the season, 7-4 record on the campaign so far. Coming in off of a loss, though. They lost their last game earlier this week, 15-7 to the Heights School. So they try to get back on the winning side of things. That loss the other day snapped a 3-game winning streak. So, again, trying to get back on the winning side of things, 7-4 through the first month and a half or so of the season. Meanwhile, Peddie is trying to rebound after a 6-game losing streak. They're 1-6 on the year, and they're coming in off of a 12-2 loss to Princeton Day earlier this week as well. So it's been some hard times here so far for the Peddie School, but they've had some success here recently, at least against Mercersburg, as they have won 9 straight years against the Blue Storm. So some recent history in the favor of the Peddie School here of late. And you see just the last couple of matchups really been tight games, too. Last year, 9-8 victory for Peddie and a couple of tight games here along the way. But again, 9 straight wins for the Falcons in this head-to-head matchup. So you know there's some maybe some rivalries going here and try to change some history, as we said, for Mercersburg. Mercersburg 7-4 on the year. They are led by head coach Mike Conklin, and Conklin in his second season with the Mercersburg Academy has been really a solid addition to the staff. He's been here, like we said, for in his second year as head coach. He joined the program in 2011 as an assistant coach, and back in the day in 2013 he was named the assistant coach of the year. Out of Syracuse, went to Hobart in his college days, and also was a big part of the big high school program up in Syracuse at West Genesee. So Mike Conklin in his second year as head coach with Mercersburg, trying to get this team back in the right direction, and he's got him off to a 7-4 start on the year. The big player for Mercersburg, of course, entering today is Nick Shulkin, the junior, who has been just terrific, one of the leading scorers in the area for sure. He has been great, and Shulkin on the year is got almost 50 goals now, and like we said, he's one of the top scorers in the league. Out of California, 5'8", 145 pounds, a 2015 All-Mid-Atlantic Prep first-teamer, and he has been great, and he is committed to Colorado College, the junior for Mercersburg Academy. And there is a heck of a lot of juniors on this team, no seniors for the Blue Storm. So while it's, like we said, they got a lot of juniors, maybe none of that senior leadership that you look for in a big rivalry matchup. So we'll see if that has an impact here this afternoon. Again, it's the Mercersburg Academy Blue Storm, 7-4 entering play today against the Peddie Falcons, who are 1-6. Face-off will be coming up here in just a couple of moments. We'll step aside, come on back with the opening draw. It'll be the Blue Storm and the Falcons coming up in just a moment on the Strive Network. We are back here at Schumann Field here on the campus of Peddie School. As we just about ready to go, I'm Lucas Favalli, and joined now by the athletic director for Mercersburg Academy, Rick Hendrickson. Rick, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Lucas, I'm doing really well, and thank you for having me in the booth. We're very excited to have another live stream by Strive Networks.
And we are happy to be here as we are underway. First couple of seconds are underway here as it's Peddie who has opening possession. And they have it on the left side, but it's quickly scooped up here on the ground ball. And Mercersburg will clear from left to right. Been a pretty good start to the program here this year for Mercersburg. 7-4 start. What do you think of the team so far this year?
I tell you what, Lucas, our new head coach, he took over last year on an interim basis. We named him the permanent head coach. Mike Conklin came in a few years ago, served as an assistant. He's a West Genesee guy out of New York. He's we laugh about it. I tell him he's our meat and potatoes guy because it's about basics and fundamentals. This is a very young team without any seniors, but the fundamentals and the basics are showing more and more as we've progressed. There's been a little bit of backslide here and there that you'll have with a young team, but they're doing a lot of things well.
And they get a goal right here off the bat. Colin Adams right on the doorstep makes it 1-0 for Mercersburg. Nice little play there to take the quick 1-0 lead early on in the first.
That was James Delala, number 7 on the assist. James is a 11th grade midfielder that's been doing a nice job for us, particularly as a defensive midi more so, but he's got a heck of a shot, and I think he gives us a great look from the outside. But no, Conklin is embedding some things in our program. We're becoming more competitive. We've had some good games with some of the other Maple competitors as well as some non-league.
As they get ready for the face-off here, 1-0 lead for Mercersburg as Colin Adams strikes early, and right on the face-off it is controlled again by Peddie, so they've won the first 2 draws here. Quickly had a turnover on their first possession. They get in the box and then pull it back out. We are just over a minute or so gone in the opening quarter. They move from right to left. Far side now it is scooped up and right outside of the box. And that is Chris Bradley who has it. Goes in behind at X. Now comes around to the near side. Stick in his right hand. Looks and passes right back to the left side again. It's William Morris, who is one of the stars for the Peddie School. Right outside the box, now pass back in, and there's Bradley once more. Bradley guarded there by Ethan Malcolm and tries to get free, but it's again Bradley who will cycle around and play near side. Stick check here by Malcolm, and now the stick between the legs for a moment, and he gets it free and passes back out, straight on just outside the box.
Lucas, I think this could be an interesting game because these are 2 possession-oriented offenses. I know Peddie runs the possession-oriented offense, as does Mercersburg.
Yeah, here's a shot that goes wide, but it's backed up by Peddie. Offense has been a bit of a struggle for Peddie this year. They've been trying to maintain some possession, though, as you mentioned, and try to limit the defensive possessions and try to keep it in and take advantage of the situations that they have. And, like you said, Mercersburg's going to try to do the same thing.
Well, Peddie's always tough to play at home. You can say that about a lot of teams, but I actually was talking to Coach Conklin on the way up here, and we're not sure of the last time that Mercersburg defeated Peddie at Peddie. We're not sure it's occurred. And so part of Coach Conklin's emphasis to the boys today and yesterday even was we need to get off the bus. We have to have a good first period. We got to play good defense. We got to be patient on offense.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a losing streak just in general against Peddie. They've had the number here recently is trying to get a turnover, and now a flag has been thrown and a penalty will be called. With almost 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. So it's been a bit of a struggle head-to-head, but we'll see if this year's the year.
Could be. That's not a very smart play by Malcolm. He's a good player. He plays pretty solid. But, to do something like that with the guy on the ground and over top, all he had to do was scoop the ball. And that's part of the emphasis is to play smart but good lacrosse. Now you'll see Peddie with the man up.
And we'll see if they can take advantage of that man-up situation. First of the game. And they are in the box here, far side. It is William Morris again. We mentioned him earlier. Gets it right back from Bradley. Passes to the near side now for Aiden O'Neill, one of the top defenders for Peddie. But he's out there on the extra man in the box.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're using him in this man-up situation to bring a long pole down.
It's unusual. You don't see that very
No, you
frequently.
don't.
Here's a quick shot. It's a goal. It's Dylan Clancy who gets Peddie on the board. They take advantage of that extra man opportunity and have tied the score at 1.
Looks like he took the Mercersburg goalie, Andrew Dillard, by surprise there as well. There's a bit of a passing around. Almost kind of lulled Mercersburg into complacency, which you would very rarely see when you're man down.
They take advantage, though, and it's now a tie game, 1-1. 8:40 remaining in the opening quarter. And we're back to face-off again. Mike Poland, who's been 2 for 2 so far today against Nick Nelson. Nelson's had a good year at the face-off circle, and we'll see if he can get his first victory of the day. It's always a challenge. That face-off, it is way more difficult than it appears from up here.
It is extremely difficult, and the placement and just the trying to get the ball, and it looks like Peddie's going to win that third one maybe.
It's still loose here. Try to battle, and that's all part of it. Kicked free again, going towards the Mercersburg side, but it's scooped up here by the Blue Storm, and they'll get possession.
And that's what James Delala brings to the table, number 7 there. He does a nice job. Like I said, he's a really good defensive midi, but he can come down and play on the offensive end, and that's why he's out there for the faceoffs.
Benji Cantera had it and then passed it, and as it goes around the top, Delala again, and now back to the far side. It's Colin Adams. Adams goes behind goal line extended in behind the cage. Near that goal line extended again, then he loses a tire, slips down, ball's loose, and it rolls back around to the far side, and a whistle here, and who's got possession? It looks like Peddie's going to take over. So a turnover here is tough break there with Adams just losing an edge and falling down.
Well, that was a nice defensive stand by Peddie. You know, Mercersburg brought it down and tried to settle it, but the Peddie defenders did a really nice job of rotating with the ball. And that one-on-one movement, they did a nice job of breaking down and sliding.
Now Peddie trying to clear it ahead. They get it across midfield from right to left. And now the ball's loose again right near the sideline, but it's picked up. And so possession continues for Peddie, trying to get it in the box, and now a turnover. Scooped up here on an intercept, and here comes Mercersburg back the other way. That's Malcolm who gets it ahead.
And that's the type of play we expect from Ethan. He's you know, a good defender. He can turn the ball very quickly. And, you know, that's the kind of defense that Mercersburg's going to have to play to stay in this game.
And it was a nice read as Peddie was struggling to get it towards the box, and he just stepped up and made a nice intercept. So possession again for the Blue Storm, tied at 1, under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dodging right is Nick Nelson. Then he cycles back, plays it out of the box once more to Benji Cantera. There goes far side to Delala. Now into the box again, far side for Adams. Adams gallops behind, spins at X, spins again right near the crease, and will circle again. Pass across, and off the stick, as trying to tee it up was Nick Shulkin, who's been terrific this year for Mercersburg.
Yeah, the big challenge for Nick and even for Colin is they're going to have to be patient, and they're not showing that patience right now. You know, they're trying to roll that crease. They're taking the back to front approach. They're going to have to work the ball around a little more and get better shots like they did the first time.
As that shot from Shulkin ended up going wide, and it was backed up by Peddie, who has possession. They try to clear again. Right here is a pretty good one for Mercersburg. Trying to force another turnover. It happened last time Peddie tried to clear ahead. Finally they do, though, and they'll step into the box. And once again, that's Chris Bradley. Bradley defended by Malcolm, and then Bradley will just pass it back out. Under 6 minutes to play in the first, and it is a tie game, 1-1, so low scoring, which it might be what we expected here this afternoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this winds up being a low to moderately scoring game. I don't see either team breaking out into, you know, big numbers.
Here's a pass across, a terrific save by Andrew Dillard. Wow, he came across from the far post to the near post and made a wonderful stop.
That was a great save by Dillard. That's typically what he's been doing with his starts thus far this year, and it looks like he's now on his game after giving up that first goal.
That was a great save, and he stayed up high with it and made a strong stop, keeping it tied at 1, 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Possession, though, continues for Peddie. They'll go right. And here's another bouncer that gets past Dillard.
Nice pass, nice shot. Very nice pass and shot by Peddie.
As it was William Morris who gets the goal, and it's a 2-1 lead for Peddie, as it was just Morris going to the right. As we get a look at the replay here, is just going to the right side, made a little move, and then just a bounce shot that got past Dillard.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Very good shot.
Hard to change in the plane on that one, and perfect opportunity for the bouncer. And Dillard tried to stick with it, but couldn't quite do it. So Peddie's back ahead. Their second lead, it's 2-1.
Well, and Peddie doing a nice job. We talked about that possession offense that both teams will try to run. That's a very good job by Peddie of bringing it around the horn and getting it to the person that's got the best shot.
Yeah, William Morris has been, like we said earlier, Peddie's best player this year. Good battle here at the face-off this time, and still loose. Trying to get possession, and Peddie does, so they've now controlled 3 of the 4 face-offs we've seen. And in a possession battle, that's an important statistic here in the early going. Peddie has possession. It's Dylan Clancy who's got 1 of the 2 goals for the Falcons. They'll set up the offense again. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. And it'll be a pass to the right side for Chris Bradley. At the box, he steps in and tries to put a spin dodge there on Malcolm, who stays with him. Malcolm forces him behind at X. And another spin here by Bradley. But again, Malcolm playing some good defense.
Well, this is Peddie's being very patient here. Mercersburg's going to have to play good defense to keep that passing rotation at bay.
Mercersburg maintains the man-to-man defense here in the early going as Jack Murphy moves right. He goes all the way to the far side, approaching the 4-minute mark to go in the first quarter. Another long possession for Peddie on the left side of the field. Now sprinting in behind is Murphy. Murphy looks around and passes one right in front off of a stick. It's loose in the crease, and Dillard's able to scoop it up. So Mercersburg with some strong defense, and they get the turnover.
And this is something you'll see Dillard do. He comes out of the box like that, and he'll bring it upfield pretty far for Mercersburg.
He does. He sends a pass ahead, but it was not a great one. It's turned over, and look out, an unsettled situation now, but it's just going to slow things down here are the Falcons. So you said he's prone to doing that, not turning it over, but prone to trying to make that clear. This time it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, he's pretty confident, and Coach Conklin allows him to bring it out. You know, like you said, not a good decision there, but he's typically made some pretty good decisions, and in fact scored one of our goals against the Hill School a couple weeks ago.
Right. I saw that. I was going through some of the stats, and I go, wait a minute. It's a
It's
goalie with a goal.
It was a bit bizarre because Hill chose not to defend the goalie, and he literally brought it up around both restraining lines and took a shot.
Well, look out. A stick goes flying. It's also a broken stick on the play right near midfield. It's a helicopter on the play, but again, that was the stick that was broken for Noah Harney for Peddie. Ball is still loose, trying to get possession, and now a whistle here. And what do we have? With 2:50 to go. And it'll be Mercersburg who has possession. James Delala gets over midfield and will slowly walk into the box and start the possession here for Mercersburg. Pass straight on, and we'll see if they can tie the game here late in the first quarter.
You know, it's interesting too, Lucas. We've already talked about the possession game, but both Peddie's actually had 2 opportunities to go fast break. Mercersburg's had 1. Neither team has chosen to go that route. Both coaches obviously stressing they want control, they want good passes, they want to get good looks and good shots.
They want to take advantage of every possession you get here. Don't want to force anything that might not be there. Is it opportunity? A long shot and a goal. Oh, a rocket from James Delala, and he has tied the game at 2 with 2:10 to go. That was a heck of a shot, and it pulls Mercersburg even.
That was a nice play. Actually, Nick Shulkin was smart in that because it looked like he was going to try to force that 1-on-2. He bumped it out to Delala, and Delala's got a nice shot from out there.
Yeah, he really cranked one home. And again, a tie game, 2-2. So we've alternated goals here in the first quarter. And we're right back to the face-off circle.
Looks like looking to see who's taking the face-off from Mercersburg.
Yes.
They seem to be rotating their guys in.
They have. It looks like it's Nelson again.
Yeah.
That's right. They've rotated a couple of times here in the early going, and this one is loose and picked up for just a moment. Now it's loose again, and now picked up again by Peddie. Mike Poland, who is their go-to face-off guy against Nelson, who's been Mercersburg go-to guy here this year.
Yeah. Poland's doing a nice job of controlling those face-offs today. He's getting the jump on Nick, I think, at this point.
See if any adjustments are in the works here as we move forward. 2-2 game, 1:45 to go in the first quarter. And another opportunity for Peddie late in the quarter to see if they can retake a lead. They've had 2 one-goal leads here in the first. It's Chris Bradley who dodges right. Again, it's Ethan Malkin who's been guarding him closely all day so far. Back out to William Morris, leading scorer, who's got 1 goal already for Peddie. Stick in his left hand. He looks now, goes right, then fakes back to the left, spins off here, straight on, shoots a bouncer and scores.
Morris, nice shot.
Morris showing some shiftiness on the play and then gets a bouncer in. 3-2, 1:18 to go in the first quarter.
When he split those 2 Mercersburg defenders, and on the defensive end side, Ben McNeil, our defensive coordinator, former standout at Providence College, is not going to be real happy at the end of the first quarter with the way that Mercersburg is not sliding. Good shot by the Peddie kid. At the same time, your defense has to do a better job, especially clogged up in the middle like that.
As they take advantage of that, it's a 3-2 lead and another important face-off here. In a game that could be low scoring, you don't really want to fall behind by too much, and Mercersburg has done a nice job of answering back after going down by the goal. See if they can get possession here is another face-off, and now we've got an encroachment, and that'll mean Mercersburg gets the possession.
Yeah, there was an illegal procedure call. Peddie face-off guy moved a little early. Tara having a hard time standing up.
Trying to hold it. The ball is loose. And who's going to get the ground ball here? It's still free. And right near the box, just outside of it, it's picked up by Mercersburg. So they get it right back.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Peddie players don't seem to have any problem with this turf, this footing, but we've now seen 3 of the Mercersburg players slip on it.
Now back behind, maybe you see if they hold for the final shot of the quarter, 45 seconds to go, and there's been some long possessions for both sides, so that might fit right into the framework of the time of possession anyway here to end the quarter.
I think they're probably going to look for a good shot. If they don't get a good shot, they're going to go with the possession at the end so they can open up the second period with the ball.
Now spinning off here is Cantera, looks across and draws a flag. Ball is on the ground, and it's scooped up here by Mercersburg. So they maintain possession with 15 seconds to go. Near side, it is Delala who's got a goal here this afternoon. Now it's Shulkin. He dodges, has some space, and fires one well high with 7 seconds left. Backed up here by Mercersburg.
Yeah, Nick had drawn the beat on that one. It just looks like his stick went a little high, and thus the ball sailed on him.
Yeah, he had some room on that one. Now it'll be an extra man on a slash. So Mercersburg first chance with the extra man opportunity late here in the first quarter.
And you can expect Mercersburg to kill the last 7 seconds here. There's no reason to rush it.
Right.
They're going to be a man up. They're going to transition into that second period.
Right, and you can see Shulkin's he's got the ball, but he's not doing anything with it, and that'll wind the clock out of the first quarter. 3-2 lead for Peddie in the opening quarter. But Mercersburg will have an extra man opportunity for basically the full time here to start the second quarter. Should be a good one, as we'll see if they can take advantage of their first extra man opportunity. How's that been this year for Mercersburg?
Man up opportunities, I think they've done pretty well. I don't know the exact statistics, but I think that as the year has progressed, that offense has started to become a little more seamless, as Coach Conklin would like for it. He's a team guy who teaches a team game. You can have your standouts. Obviously, Nick Shulkin does a great job for us, scores a lot of goals. Colin Adams scores his share of goals as well. He's probably our second leading scorer. But it's really about the team and rotating things around. So the expectation is that you're going to score when you're man up, because that's the idea. You have the advantage.
Right.
Exactly.
As we are going to take a quick break. When we come on back, we'll have the start of the second quarter. Mercersburg will have the man-up opportunity right in just a moment. You're listening to and watching High School Lacrosse right here on the Strive Network. All right, we're back here at the Peddie School. Started this second quarter alongside Rick Hendrickson. I'm Lucas Favali. Thanks so much for joining us on this Drive Network. Mercersburg trailing Peddie School 3-2. And the Blue Storm will have an extra man opportunity to start the second.
And Lucas, a couple of updates from some other contests. Mercersburg's actually at Peddie today playing in varsity baseball, varsity girls lacrosse, and varsity softball. Don't have a report yet on the varsity girls lacrosse, but we do know that Peddie at last set was up 5-1 in softball, and Mercersburg leads 3-0 in the fifth inning of a first game of a doubleheader in baseball.
All right.
For the Maple lead. Actually, Mercersburg is the league leader right now with a 5-1 record. Peddie, I believe, is at 4-3.
That's a big day here. Big day between the two schools. Lots of contests. We'll keep an eye on all of those for you back home as the Peddie has the possession now. Still down a man, but they got a big save as look out, nearly a turnover, and it is. So Mercersburg will get it again. Earlier we saw the shot from Nick Nelson that was stopped by Colston Feldman, and that started the opportunity for Peddie. Late stages of the extra man opportunity, just about to expire, now it has. So back even again, and it's still 3-2 Peddie. Pass to the near side for Hendrickson. Hendrickson looks around, feeds it further for the big man, Nick Shulkin. We highlighted him in the pregame, going to Colorado College, the junior. So many juniors on this team, and we talked about that too. No seniors. It's unusual.
Yeah, no seniors at all. It is highly unusual. But in our case, with Coach Conklin and Coach McNeil, very exciting. This is a good year already. It'll continue to be better, I'm sure, but this is a team that's already geared up with the future.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good way to really set a good foundation moving forward as a couple of flags fly, and so much for that. It looked like maybe a takeaway for Mike Poland, but he gets called for the push, and so another extra man opportunity. We'll see if Mercersburg can take advantage of this one.
Yeah, and it looks like the officials are calling this one pretty tight, and I think that's what's making us, it's presenting us with a very well-played game because they've kept a lid on the hits and things, and that was a tight call, but it's the right call in that regard.
Right. As with 10:15 to go in the second quarter now, 3-2 lead for Peddie. Straight on for James Delala, who has one of the two goals. It was a crank he fired in the first. Hendrickson feeds Shulkin, who steps free, looks, and then has the ball knocked out of his stick. It's still loose, and now it's scooped up by the goaltender, Colston Feldman, and he'll look to get it clear. Steps past a man, absorbs a check, pressured by Shulkin, but gets it free again, and now it's just flung all the way ahead. And, oh, look out. It's still loose as the goaltender Dillard came out to play it out of his crease. Now he scampers back in there. The ball's still down. Who's going to get the ground ball this time? 3-on-3 going at it in the attacking zone, and now it's taken, and a timeout is called by Peddie. So they eventually win that hard battle and get possession.
Well, and ironically, we've been talking about a clean game and a well-played game up to this point, and all of a sudden in the last 45 seconds, things just got really sloppy. First on the Mercersburg end with the lack of execution on offense, and then on the Peddie end with that desperation heave into the opposite field, which almost worked out for him, ironically. They caught the goalkeeper came out.
Yeah.
Didn't make the play on it, but Peddie now gaining possession, and I think we'll see some more of that passing and that controlled element as they come out of the timeout.
9:27 to go here in the second quarter. It's a 3-2 lead for Peddie. As we will take a look here at this terrific save from earlier, as this was a great one for Dillard. I mean, you look at it going across. Just a great job of getting from post to post and making a great save.
Yeah, it was. He was in great position there, and 1v0 like that, the advantage is definitely in the shooter's favor. But Andrew did a nice job of sliding across there.
That was a big one, and still it's kept his team down by one. 3-2 lead as we are just about ready to step out of the timeout, and it'll be Peddie possession with the lead. They're on the right side of the field here we're in a pretty good vantage point. We got the lacrosse game going in front of us. You mentioned the other games going on. We could look around and see baseball or softball if we wanted to do that as well during the timeouts. Anyway, we're back underway, though. We digress for just a moment. And now Peddie has possession. Even strength again after they've killed off a second extra man opportunity for Mercersburg.
Well, that's been a great job by Peddie's defense. It's also spoken to that lack of patience that the Mercersburg offense has been exhibiting. But give Peddie all the credit in the world to be man down twice and still not have given up a goal.
As the ground ball is scooped up here by Mercersburg, kind of a forced shot by Chris Bradley for Peddie. And again, Mercersburg gets possession, they get ahead, and then they settle things down, and we'll start the possession here on the left side of the field.
Well, that's James Delala, number 7, showing his value and worth again in terms of this team. He and Nelson have what the coaches refer to as wheels. They can get that ball upfield in a hurry with their feet when they need to. You know, that's not the preferred method of advancing the ball, but obviously when you get those opportunities, you want to take advantage of them, and that was James displaying a little bit of the speed that he's capable of as a midfielder.
Right, getting that basically the one-man clear, and it works out again, and as we said, another opportunity to tie the game with 8:15 to go in the second quarter here in the first half. Right back to Nick Nelson. Nelson straight on. Gets some speed. Dodges to his right. Has some room. Shoots one, and it's bounced wide. Backed up, though, by Mercersburg, so they'll maintain possession.
Well, that was an interesting shift with Mercersburg because they wanted to isolate Nelson up high. They brought 3 guys down low, which gave them a good backup situation.
Had some room. Great pass in front and a goal. And a tie
nice
game.
Play.
Wow, Shulkin with a terrific pass.
Yep.
And that quickly ties things up. What a play. And right off the restart, under 8 minutes to go, we've got a tie game at 3.
And that's number 44, Rhett Cannon, sneaking in there. You know, Peddie defense lost track of him. He snuck in there. That was a nice job of Mercersburg and of Nick Shulkin and seeing the open man.
So Rhett Cannon gets the goal on what was a great pass by Shulkin. And that's Cannon's first of the afternoon. And again, it's a tie game, this time 3-3.
Mercersburg looking far sharper and crisp in that possession than they have the last several possessions.
Yeah, they got a pretty good shot initially from Nick Nelson, as we said. And then on the restart, after backing it up nicely, they get the goal.
But I tell you what, Peddie's doing a very nice job of controlling those, the face-offs. They're doing a good job of getting control and therefore spending most of the time on offense.
That's for sure. They've won the majority of the face-offs here so far, as Mike Poland has done a solid job of that for Peddie. They'll get the other possession again, 7.5 to go in the first half. Down the right side. Right on the edge of the box now he steps out near the sideline.
It looks like Peddie's setting up a play, probably in isolation.
And they'll start it right behind the net now at X, spinning off, passing to the near side for Noah Harney. Harney looks in front, a pass, a shot, and a goal. Dylan Clancy's got his second of the afternoon, and Peddie answers right back, and they have a 4-3 lead.
Well, excellent crisp passes there by Peddie, and the run to that play to almost perfection. And just as Mercersburg had executed very well on this other end, and Peddie lost track of the inside man, you know, Peddie's able to do the same thing on this end and put themselves up 4-3.
Now we continue to trade goals, and like you said, that was a strong play there for Peddie. And now we'll see who gets control of another face-off. So far, the advantage has certainly been for Peddie in this department. Face-offs are very important, obviously. You can't stress it enough how important they are in lacrosse. If you've got a guy who can dominate face-offs, you can have the possession really the whole game. I mean, it's incredible.
That's true. It's one of the unique facets of this game that every time there's a score, you have to go back to a 50-50 ball that
right.
The other team doesn't get automatic possession. It's
right.
one of the few sports like that.
And possessions can be so valuable and so hard to get the ball back if the team has possession.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been important, and Peddie has done a good job of it, but Mercersburg wins that one there, so they've got possession, trailing by 1. It is Nick Nelson again who has it up top. Plays far side for Delala. Delala goes to his right and then passes for Colin Adams. Adams, who has the lone goal in the quarter for Mercersburg on a great pass from Shulkin, has it here, looks, spins off, has some room, shoots and scores! Terrific spin move by Colin Adams. He's got his second in a row, and we're tied again.
And that's actually something that Colin has become pretty proficient at. That little spin move, that inside roll, and he probably has the best hard angle shot of anybody on the team. We saw Delilah earlier in that first period just come and whale it from about 20, 25 yards out. And we see Shulkin come around the crease a lot, do a lot of different things, very quick feet. Adams can come in at that really low angle and get that shot off. He probably does that better than anybody on the team, and it makes it extremely difficult to defend.
Yeah, it was a strong move by him, and goes across the grain a little bit to get the goal. And again, we're tied at 4. 6:24 to go in the first half. We continue to go back and forth in what has been, as expected, a really good matchup here so far. Face-off this time controlled by Peddie, and they'll have the opportunity to go from left to right. They step into the box. They have it. Now they'll pull back out. It's William Morris, who's got 2 of the 4 tallies for the Falcons. Near side for Pereira. Pereira keeps it moving. Look out, a bad pass. This one's loose, and it's picked up on the ground ball by Malcolm. So there was somewhat of a loose possession for Peddie, and we'll see if Mercersburg can get the clear. Dillard starts it, and Austin Stoner keeps it moving. Lead pass up ahead. They break out past midfield, and here comes Tom Cremens. Cremens keeps it moving again, and now it's Rhett Cannon. Cannon, one more pass to Shulkin. Rolls here. Low shot was stopped. Nice save by the goaltender. Got his leg on it. That was Feldman who makes another save. And so with 5.5 to go, Peddie will get a chance to clear again.
Well, Lucas, and I think great job by the goaltender, and I think that he did a nice job of anticipating the way that Shulkin would go with that.
Look at a turnover here.
Yep, quick turnover there, but that right-handed shot coming around like that, goalkeeper did a nice job.
Here's a shot from Nick Nelson, and he scores. So this time they, on the odd man opportunity, the fast break, if you would, for Mercersburg, they don't pull it back. Instead, they keep going, and Nick Nelson with a nice shot, and he's given Mercersburg their first lead.
And that was he obviously had the green light. That's what Nelson brings to the table. Probably the fastest guy on the team. Delala's got some speed, but Nick Nelson runs wide receiver for the football team, runs indoor track. He's a 3-sport athlete, gets out here on the lacrosse field. And I tell you what, his motor just goes because he's barely out of the game, and we saw some of that speed exhibited right there. Yeah,
he just took off right down the right side and a low shot, beat Feldman. And so a couple of goals in rapid fire here for Mercersburg, and they've got, like we said, the first lead 5-4, 5 minutes to go in the first half. And now a hold here against Peddie. And so Mercersburg will have another possession, trying to build on a lead now. It's Rhett Cannon has possession for the Blue Storm. Now Delala straight on, keeps it moving near side for Hendrickson. Hendrickson down the near wing. Now Adams right back for Delala, catches it on a knee and sends it far side for Nelson again. Nelson, who's got his first goal of the game, which has given him the lead. Pass to the middle, Shulkin's alone, bounces one in. And now the offense starting to pick up some rhythm here in a couple of nice sets in a row, and they have a 6-4 lead with 4.5 to go in the first half.
Yeah, we're seeing some far sharper passing by the Mercersburg offense in this second quarter, especially in the second half of it, where they're bringing it around and then they get the cut-throughs, cut-through guys open, but some really good looks, some really good field of, just awareness of where guys need to be. So they look very much more in sync now, almost like they've kind of shaken off the rust and gotten off the bus.
Right. Try to end that losing streak here at Peddie School, like you mentioned. It's been a while, if ever. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, they're starting to pick up the play here in the second half of this first half. They have the 6-4 lead, 3 unanswered goals now for Mercersburg. Another possession, though. Mike Poland wins another face-off and sends it behind for Harney. Harney keeps it moving, but another opportunity for a loose ball, but it's the ground ball picked up again by Dylan Clancy. It's a pass that grazed off of his stick, but again, they maintain possession.
And this is Mercersburg playing some pretty aggressive defense, which they're able to do. 21, Alex DeGrange does a really nice job one-on-one. Obviously we've talked about Ethan Malcolm, who had a lot of action earlier, and Tommy Cremens also does a nice job there as a long pole. Stoner's kind of the new addition to this. He's new to the school, 10th grader this year, just now coming in, but he's starting to get his feet under him.
Yeah, it's been a solid defensive unit here so far this afternoon. 6-4 lead for Mercersburg with 3:35 to go in the first half. Peddie tries to get something going here and snap the little run. Nice little dodge there to get free, but then a pass goes off of his stick and it's out of bounds, and this is a turnover against Peddie, so Mercersburg has possession.
Yeah, good combination of factors there. Mercersburg was playing some nice defense, but they benefited from some sloppy passing by Peddie.
So Mercersburg tries to clear, and they get it ahead. Still short of the box for the moment, but now Rhett Cannon gets down the right wing and steps into the box, and will start this offensive opportunity in the attack zone. 3 minutes to go in the first half. 6-4 lead for Mercersburg.
And a nice setup here for the Blue Storm with the middies, bringing it around. You know, your low scores with the guys at X doing a nice job being patient. And I think you're going to see Mercersburg work the ball here quite a bit before they take another, good shot. Big difference.
Nice roll there by Cantera, but he pulls back out again. And like you said, slowing things down a bit.
Yeah, that was a great move, but Pettie's got a nice defense set in there, and
good slide.
Conklin's philosophy of we're going to work till we get the best shot, I think is what you saw evidence right there.
As Colin Adams tries to step free, looks around, spins off, rolls again. In front, he shoots right into the stick, though, of Feldman. Nice save by him, staying with him, and that'll allow Peddie to try to clear.
That was a nice save by Feldman because Adams had made that inside move, that inside roll, and really had him. It was a 1v0, so Feldman, nice job getting his stick up. Colin's probably kicking himself a little bit because he knows he should have gone low instead of high. Not a place to go top shelf.
Yeah, but he got possession back for Mercersburg as he and Shulkin put some heavy pressure on the ride against William Morris, and now it's another possession with 1:45 to go in the half.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Mercersburg's been doing a really good job of this year. We saw it in the Blair game. They were able to defeat Blair earlier in the season at home, but the attackers are doing a really good job of redefending, and they've been able to create some turnovers, deep in the other team's territory just because of that.
Pass just missed with Colin Adams. Shulkin trying to set him up again. Didn't go out of bounds, though, so they maintain possession as Nick Nelson scooped it up here along the sideline.
And that's something that Shulkin's particularly good at. Seen him create a number of turnovers as teams tried to transition and get the ball upfield.
Yeah, you can tell he has got some terrific abilities. He comes near side again, passes across, has a man alone. It's Rhett Cannon who scores.
And I think that speaks to the total player that Nick Shulkin can be. He's matured tremendously because he's able to look at it and decide whether he should take the shot or whether he should dish it off. And I'm not keeping the stats, but that's at least 3 assists, if not 4 for him today.
Yeah, he's been terrific, and we know he can score goals. There's no question about it, but he has really been facilitating the offense and has had some wonderful passes and has set up some basically slam dunks in front of the net.
Yeah, it's a nice 1v0 there that he set up. And I think that, sometimes when the other team's keyed on your leading scorer, that leading scorer becomes the leading assist guy if he does a good job. And Nick's doing a nice job with that today. He's playing in an unselfish manner right now.
Right, he has been great, and it's a 4-0 run for Mercersburg as they've opened up the largest lead, 7-4. Trying to gain possession here. If anyone still loose, and now we have a whistle. And what have we here? It's a push. Yep.
Yeah.
Push on Mercersburg, so Peddie will have possession. Trying to end the run here, under a minute to play in the half. As timeout here called by Peddie. So a big possession here late in the half. We'll see if they can get on the board and maybe end the run. 7-4 is the score. 50 seconds to go in the half. We'll take a quick break and come on right back. You're listening to Boys Lacrosse here on the Strive Network. And we are back here at Peddie School. It's late in the first half. It's a 7-4 lead for Mercersburg. They've scored the last 4 in the game. It's been a strong second half of the second quarter here, and a good finish here to the half, hopefully, for Mercersburg.
It has. The big test now is going to be with 50 seconds left. Can the Blue Storm take that 3-goal lead in? They've really established some momentum. Or can the host Peddie Falcons get, notch another one, which will bring it back and make it pretty tight for the start of the third quarter?
Yeah, this is a pretty big possession here right near the end of the half. They try to get it going with 40 seconds to go now. As they have it on the right side of the field, that's Pereiro's got it near the corner.
This looks like that similar play from the last time Peddie scored, actually, where they ran it low on X, got the pass back, and here it comes.
Yeah.
And then snuck the guy in the middle. So we'll see what happens there. Looks like Mercersburg's defense has picked it up better this time.
Yeah, they have for sure. It was pretty much the same setup. Look out, another loose ball. It's a ground ball scooped up by Mercersburg, and here comes Dalala again from right to left with all that speed that you've mentioned a couple of times. Gets it into the box, 10 seconds to go in the half. Here's a pass across and a timeout this time by the Blue Storm. So they've got 8 seconds to maybe get a shot away and get a late goal in the half, and a big turn of events there. You mentioned it. We saw that play earlier that resulted in a goal. Good adjustment there by the Blue Storm. They get the takeaway, and now they'll have the final possession.
Well, Lucas, it was also, it's a good play. You watched Dalala's body position, and he made a really smart decision there where he didn't go stick first. He actually came in, and they call it butt first. The phrase in lacrosse is butt stick. So you keep the other person at bay. But he was able to turn, get the ball, and then get it across, get a touch in. 8 seconds left. We'll see what Coach Conklin's got up his sleeve here to see if they can get that final shot coming off of here.
Not a whole lot of time to work with, but we'll see what they can do with 8 seconds to go in the half. We'll take another quick break. Come on back with the final possession of the half in just a moment on the Strive Network. We're back here on the Strive Network. Rick Hendrickson and Lucas Favale with you. 8 seconds to go in the first half. It's 7-4 Blue Storm leading over the Falcons, and Mercersburg has the possession. Nick Shulkin will have the ball when we get the restart. See what Mike Conklin has drawn up here for the final possession.
Looks like it's going to be an isolation, very quick one, and Shulkin's got it.
He's got a step, gets in front, shoots, and a big save. Oh, good save right near the end of the half by Feldman. The clock never started.
The clock did not start.
Wow. Oh.
Oh.
Don't know what was going on there and what would have happened, but in the end, it doesn't result in anything. But whoa. I mean, there was an opportunity for Shulkin right near the end of the half. We'll take a look at that play again. He had a step and got a great opportunity, great shot, but a strong save as he cuts in front. And again, Feldman has made a couple of saves in the first half. That was maybe his best one, keeping it within a 3-goal deficit.
That's the third save that Feldman's made. He's done a great job in goal. I think as Mercersburg goes to the half, Conklin's probably going to talk a little bit about moving their sticks more, because if you're high and you stay high and you go top shelf, you're actually going to make it, you're going to give the goalie a chance.
Yeah.
And the whole idea there is don't give the goalie a chance
right.
when you have a 1v0.
Yeah, you got to change the plane a little bit and go one way or the other.
Great move by Shulkin.
Yeah,
it was a great move
absolutely.
to get open. And he was actually helped by the home clock not starting. Right.
Bizarre. You'd think they might click it a little earlier and get it rolling, but not the case.
Was a little bit. Looks like a couple of updates. Mercersburg, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Mercersburg continues to lead in the first game of a baseball doubleheader, 3-0. Like I said before, Blue Storm's 5-1. A sweep of Peddie this weekend would set them up to clinch at least a tie of the league title with a split of Lawrenceville in 2 Saturdays from now. A familiar place for Mercersburg. We've won 5 straight Maple titles in baseball, several, overall, and that's one of the quality programs that we have. Coach John Lowry, first-year head coach for us, a veteran coach coming in, is doing a great job. And it looks like Peddie has won the first game of the softball doubleheader today. Don't have any report from girls lacrosse yet.
Yeah, so it's been a big day, obviously, here at the Peddie School. Is all sorts of matchups between Falcons and the Blue Storm here on this Really nice Saturday afternoon. You can no sun or anything in the area. You can take a load off, get a nice seat in the bleachers, and not sweat sweat like crazy as you try to enjoy the afternoon. We'll take a break here as it's a halftime 7-4 lead, I should say, for Mercersburg over Peddie. As we will come on back with the second half in just a few moments, we'll step aside here on the Strive Network. And we're back here on the Strive Network. Rick Hendrickson alongside with Lucas Favali. So glad you've joined us on this Saturday afternoon. Good first half, 7-4 lead for Mercersburg. Rick, thoughts on the first half that we just saw?
Well, we talked about it. It's a game of methodical offenses at this point. The defenses have played well at different times, but the offenses have gained the upper hand with when they've engaged in the crisp passing that both teams are capable of. Mercersburg gaining the momentum in the second half, in part because they were able to possess a couple of the face-offs in the middle, and also because they cleaned up tremendously, on the offensive end.
Yeah, they had a crisp end to that first half, and they've got the 3-goal lead, trying to get the some of those face-offs. So Peddie still did a pretty good job on the face-offs, although it was a little more even towards the end of that first half. This one goes high in the air, and see what the call is here. It's a hold on, who do we have here?
It's going to go Peddie's way.
Going Peddie's way, yeah. So it'll be an early possession again for Peddie to try to end that 4-0 run, which is where we still stand at the end of that first half.
And this is, this is not the way Mercersburg wants to start this second half. They don't want to give up that possession. They want to make sure they keep that momentum that they held in the second part of that first half. But this is exactly where Peddie wants to be, and they're going to go into that methodical, pretty well-run offense of their own.
Yeah, we'll see if that late save that we saw from Colston Feldman maybe changes it a little bit. It was almost a 4-goal game, but he made a big save right at the end. We'll see if any adjustments are made from either side, which what you would expect. Back at X, here's a pass towards the middle. It goes all the way through, rolling towards midfield, but two Peddie players are there, and that's William Morris, who had 2 goals in the first half, who scoops it up for Peddie. Falcons have it from right to left. Morris down the right side, passes in behind at X. It's Noah Harney. Harney comes to the near side now. At goal line extended, he gets taken down, and a flag is going to be thrown here.
Like we talked about, Lucas, they're calling a pretty tight game. That was a push, no doubt about it, but it was also a stumble on the part of the Peddie, attackman. And the same thing happened with Mercersburg in the first half, when Hendrickson kind of stumbled and was starting to fall and got pushed from behind. So officials calling a very tight game, which is keeping it, I think, a pretty clean game.
Right. It's been pretty cleanly played for the most part. The ball back to the near side, and that's Chris Bradley. Bradley sends it up top, and we'll see what Peddie can do. Flags are still down, so they've got the possession pretty much for free. Here's a shot, and it's stopped by Dillard, and now the whistle blows.
And that gives a tremendous amount of advantage to the offense in that situation, because it's kind of a twofer.
Right.
If he makes that shot, they've scored. If he doesn't make that shot, they go man up, and they still get that second chance to score.
Right. So it's a free possession, essentially, and you do with it what you can, as it'll be Austin Stoner who sits out, and the second extra man opportunity for Peddie is now underway. They scored on their first one early in the first half.
And Peddie using that long pole here in that man-up situation. You don't see much of that.
No, you don't, but they pulled it out the first time, too. It's Aiden O'Neill, the top defender for Peddie, who's out there, like you said, with that long stick on the extra man.
We've got a final in the first game of the baseball doubleheader. Looks like Mercersburg won that 3-1. They'll take a break and go into the second part of that doubleheader.
It's split so far through the first 2 known contests that we think of the results so far between the teams. This one is 7-4. Mercersburg has the lead, 9.5 to go in the third quarter.
Oh, and there Peddie's got the solo.
Look out, a chance, and a bouncer just goes under the crossbar and in. Andrew Pereira gets the goal, and it ends that 4-0 run and pulls Peddie within 2.
And Pereira with a nice shot there. Dillard with a little bit late on the reaction time. I think Pereira got the benefit of a good bounce. Obviously, Dillard as the goalkeeper is going to see that as a bad bounce. But, nice shot.
And a big goal for Peddie that stops the run, their first goal in quite a while. They hadn't scored most of that second quarter. But they get one here, and now it's 7-5, and back to the face-off again.
And I think, Lucas, this is a key point. This possession is going to be a key point, because you're talking about, you're a little bit into the second half. Mercersburg had had really gained the momentum, had the lead, looked like they were ready to take control of this. They did that a couple weeks ago against Blair, wound up winning 12-6. But Peddie now pulling to within 2 goals.
Yeah, they get a push, though, on the face-off, and so possession for Mercersburg, but they throw it right away. A little miscommunication, but they get it right back. So 2 sloppy passes in a row. Here's an opportunity. Delala in front. It's tipped towards the net. A flag was thrown as Delala goes down, but he gets right back up. And we'll see what the penalty is, as it looks like Mercersburg is going to have the extra man opportunity now with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And I tell you what, Nick Shulkin's wishing he could get that one back because he took his eyes off the ball, went to make his shot. That was a great pass by Delala. He had Shulkin 1v0 on the goalie, and he just took his eye off the ball. He was shooting it before he caught it.
Right. They just tapped it a little bit, but not what you're looking to do there, that's for sure.
No.
But again, it was basically a free possession with the flag down, so they get the extra man opportunity. Their third of the game. Delala moves it right side for Nelson. Keeps it moving down low. Goal line extended for Cannon. Right back up top to Nelson. And again, goal line extended near side for Cannon. He plays catch with Nelson. Now pulls it out of the box. Delala goes far side. Now the pass from Adams, down low goal line instead. In front, a chance, and another save in front by Feldman. Cannon with the opportunity, but as we mentioned at the end of that first half, really not changing the plane or anything. Stayed high and shot it right into the breadbasket for Feldman.
No, the lack of stick movement in those tight situations, Feldman's doing a great job. But the lack of stick movement on the part of the Mercersburg attackers, that's the 4th shot that they've had that they've gone top with it when they actually could have moved their stick a little bit and made Feldman make a tougher save.
And a strong clear here by Peddie. It was 1-on-3, and then a flag was thrown. So it'll be a penalty a penalty on Mercersburg. And with under 8 minutes to go, 7-5. So big swing maybe in the awning here as Mercersburg couldn't quite take advantage of that extra man. Another chance down low, and now it'll be an opportunity on the other side for Peddie.
Well, that momentum has swung where Mercersburg was playing with some composure and with some presence in the second quarter. You know, Peddie was a little harried, committed some turnovers. Mercersburg's now being impatient and costing themselves actually quite a bit in terms of opportunities.
So Shulkin will sit, and that'll give the third extra man opportunity for Peddie. 7-5 lead for the Blue Storm, under 8 to go in the third quarter. You just feel the possessions getting more and more important, and as we move along here, this is a big one. It is, again, that long stick, Aiden O'Neill, who has it. Gets it back and looks far side. Try to get it for Morris and decided to come back to the near side. Here is Pereira, who just scored. Look out, the ball bounces off the stick of O'Neill, but he scoops it back up. Pulls out, top of the box. His pass goes through, a cross pass. Fake, and a shot goes wide. Backed up here by Harney. That was Dylan Clancy looking for his third of the day. Just missed it. Possession, though, continues for Peddie.
That was a nice shot by Clancy. He actually had the upper hand on Dillard on that one.
Oh, here is Clancy. Looks around, passes it for Jack Murphy. The extra man opportunity has ended.
A nice job of the Mercersburg defense of killing that one off, to be honest with you. The defense did a nice job with that.
Not really a great look for Clancy, who teed one up. He's maintained possession. Now the ball is loose, and the ground ball is scooped up here by Cantera. But now it's taken right back by Peddie. So a failed clear attempt. And again, the Falcons will have possession.
You know, Benji does that periodically. He's the smallest guy out on the field, but he'll force that turnover. He'll come up with one. You know, sometimes he runs into some big bodies and winds up giving it up himself. But I tell you what, he's a hustler.
As Peddie takes it behind, this is Jack Murphy at X. Pass to the far side, right near the crease. Now goal line extended. Coming up with his Clancy stick in his left hand. Now he turns, shoots a bouncer that just missed. And it's backed up and scooped up by Murphy. Edge of the box. Now Harney plays it further to the up top for William Morris. Morris looks for the ISO, goes right. Forced out wide by Malcolm. Now a pass to the middle, goes off of another stick. And look out, it was Dillard who tried to scoop it up, but it was swatted away. And now the ground ball is taken by Kremens.
It's going to be really important here with this possession for Mercersburg to settle in, get some better passing going, hang on to the ball a little bit. I think they're playing a little tight. You know, not sure why. You know, maybe it's just not used to having that lead, but they need to settle themselves down a bit to run their offense.
Now let's see another big possession here. Last one was a big defensive stop. A couple of strong plays, and now they've got the opportunity just outside the box. It's Delala.
You know, the other thing, Lucas, is they're playing against a goalie that's having a good day. And when the goalie's hot, that makes it tough on your offense.
Right. It might get in your head a little bit as the game moves along. Cannon tried to get free. He lost it right near the crease, though. Still loose right on the edge of the crease. And now a whistle. And it looks like it'll be maybe a crease infraction or so against Mercersburg.
Yeah, that's a crease infraction for sure. And that's what we're just talking about. You know, the Mercersburg's got to pass the ball around. If they get their opportunities, obviously take them, but make sure they're making good passes and good decisions.
Yeah, try to force it a little bit there.
Yes, he did.
And just didn't work out. So 5 minutes to go. Look at a more pressure, though, by Shulkin. He comes away with it right on the sideline. He gets the possession back, so another forced turnover. Shulkin makes a dodge move, tries to work free. Now we'll scamper out of the box, and we'll settle things down. And another important possession here with 4:40 to go in the third quarter.
And I tell you what, that's what makes Shulkin a collegiate prospect, because you notice how he never quit on that play. He wound up forcing the turnover. He's got to be among the league leaders in forcing those types of turnovers on the attack end. He's a great redefender.
Pass up top. It's Nick Nelson who goes to his right. Gets around a little pick by Shulkin. Keeps on moving, does Nelson all the way around. And at the goal line extended far side, he finds Rhett Cannon. Cannon looks around and feeds it for Delala. Now it's at the near side for Shulkin. He goes right, sticking his right hand. He looks, shoots a bouncer, and scores.
And there you go, Lucas. He started high, went low, and the ball goes in. I think Feldman does a great job against those high balls. He's not stopped it when Mercersburg's going on the ground against him.
That's a big goal, and they get the 3-goal lead back again. Shulkin's second of the day. He's had a nice afternoon. Really, as we've said a couple of times, been the facilitator for the most part. This time he goes to his right and scores on the bouncer. 8-5, 4:05 to go in the third quarter.
And that was that sharp passing that, you know, Coach Conklin expects. You notice there were 5-6 guys involved in that one. It was a quick bang, 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 and then Nick was able to take it 1v1 down to the goalie.
Back to the face-off again. And a tie-up as you'd expect, and Poland tries to pull it free and does. He gets a quick possession, scampers in towards the right, and gets some space. So another possession for Peddie off of the draw.
And give Peddie credit, because they've once again controlled most of the face-offs in this quarter and have had the ball more often than Mercersburg.
It's been, and here's a late flag that flies. Boy, that was a couple of seconds after the play was developed, but it's going to be a flag against the Blue Storm on a push, and so it'll be another extra man opportunity for Peddie.
Yeah, we talked about the officials calling it tight. I'm not convinced, Lucas, that wasn't more the Peddie player kind of tripping and falling as he came around than it was the Mercersburg player tripping him.
Yeah, there was a little contact, but it didn't look like anything.
Yeah, it looked like it was more incidental.
Right.
But you know what? They're calling it consistently.
They are, and so it'll be an opportunity here for Peddie. Some confusion, it looks like, for a moment for the Blue Storm, but now they've got it all settled down. 3:42 to go, third quarter, 8-5 lead for the Blue Storm. Extra man opportunity again for Peddie. They were held off the board last time they had one just a couple of minutes ago.
Well, and this will be that test again. Mercersburg's defense has spent a lot of time on their end and a lot of time actually killing penalties thus far this quarter.
Yeah, it could be wearing out a little bit. We'll see how well they can hold up. It is Aiden O'Neill, keeps it moving. Here's a hard shot, score! Andrew Pereira took a hard shot and rattles it in right in the corner, top shelf. And they take advantage of that extra man, and it's now an 8-6 game, 3:15 to go.
And a nice shot by Pereira. He's ahead of the goalie on that one, and you know, with that man up, that's the third opportunity, and Peddie's able to capitalize.
And they have pulled within 2 again, so Mercersburg hasn't been able to pull away, and I guess that was kind of what we expected, a tight game here. And we've got it so far, 8-6, 3:15 to go in the third quarter.
The question now will be, how does Mercersburg answer back? You know, they've been back and forth, and I think, again, this faceoff is an important one.
Poland and DeGrange for the faceoff, and this time it is won by Mercersburg. No, they called another infraction.
Hold, I think, yeah.
So, again, Peddie has it.
And Lucas, is this Peddie's third or fourth straight control?
Yeah, they've had a couple in a row. As they have, it's really been the reason why they've hung around in this game, though. It's been their opportunities off the face-off. And that has kept them within 2 here. Under 3 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yeah, time of possession definitely in Peddie's favor in the third quarter.
Here's a pass that was not controlled by William Morris, and instead it is controlled by Mercersburg. That was DeGrange with the takeaway, and here comes an odd man rush opportunity. Right side. Here's a pass across. They keep it moving. Shulkin shoots and missed high and wide. It's backed up, though, by a Cannon, and so possession for Mercersburg. Cannon starts again in the corner. Gets loose at X. Ooh, a big collision on what was a pick, and a flag is thrown. This is going to be on all 3 officials throwing the flag, so they obviously all saw the same thing. But that was a big collision going up high on Shulkin. So play continues. Nick Nelson, nice dodge move with his stick. Gets down low. Pass. Oh, no, it was a shot and a goal. Wow, from the strange angle. And he has made it 9-6. That was Nick Nelson with a heck of a shot.
That was a heck of a shot, wasn't it?
Man, I figured he was passing from there.
I think everybody in the stadium thought he was passing.
Take a look at this one again. I mean, it was just a heck of a shot. Nelson made a good move initially, and then from basically goal line extended. Wow, just finding a way to get it through.
Well, Nick Nelson's an athletic young man. You notice he's also going to come out and take the face-off now.
Right.
And typically he's one of those guys that makes things happen. You know, he gets the pass, he gets the ball in the transition areas and moves it upfield and such. He's also got a heck of a shot, as we just saw.
They take advantage of the play. The flags were thrown. Nick Tarditi is sitting for the moment. 9-6, 2:08 to go, third quarter. Again, matches the largest lead for the Blue Storm. And Nelson will try to get some success at the face-off circle. Poland has done a great job, though, for Peddie, and he's got another clean win. Gets in, pass across, quick shot goes wide. Backed up, though, by Harney. That was Clancy again looking for his third. He's just missed wide a couple of times here, bidding for that third goal. Under 2 to play in the quarter.
Well, and this is how Peddie's been able to hang around, because they continue to dominate the face-offs. Mercersburg's defense doing a pretty nice job.
They've held up well despite the amount of possession that Peddie has had. And look out, a loose stick for the moment. That was Stoner who dropped it but scoops it back up.
They forced that out of bounds.
Yeah.
What a great defensive play. The nice double team, and look who that is, Nick Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson came all the way back, and it was double, almost a triple team on Harney, and he stepped on the end line.
Yep.
And so now Nelson goes all the way himself and gets the one-man clear up into the box, now pulls back out.
And Lucas, that's what makes Nelson such a good player. He's so versatile, does so many things well. You notice he comes down, he scores here, he goes back, he plays defense, gets the ball past the transition area, and then sets up Mercersburg for another nice look on offense.
And they got the look, but it was just off of the stick, but they end up getting possession right back on a turnover on the clear attempt. So with a minute to go in the third quarter, it's a 9-6 lead, and we'll see if Mercersburg slows things down here and either gets a good shot or holds it for the fourth.
I'm going to be shocked if Mercersburg takes anything other than a wide open shot here in the last few seconds of this quarter. You're holding a 3-goal lead. There's no reason to force it whatsoever. You know, why turn the ball over and give Peddie a chance?
Right. It's up top for Dalala. Now right side as they continue to pass around. Here's a pass to the middle, though. Quick shot goes wide. Who's got it backed up? Oh, it's Peddie who's got possession. Colin Adams was alone up basically one on the goaltender and just missed it.
Well, and there's a mental mistake on the part of Mercersburg. You know, Cannon not backing the ball up. There's the shot, and without that backup, Peddie's able to gain possession, and a long fly down puts it. Mercersburg could have some issues.
And we've got a whistle here, and maybe, what do we have? Warding off on Peddie, so they'll get possession right back. Well, it was a big call.
Let's see what happens in the last few seconds this time.
10 seconds, Dalala gets ahead, sends it across as Shulkin tries to step free. 2 guys converge on him, comes around the crease, feeds it across. Oh, look out, it's another loose ball, but the horn will blow to end the quarter. Oh, we are through 3 quarters of play here. 9-6 lead for Mercersburg on the road, trying to snap that long streak here at Peddie. And so far, so good through 3 quarters, and should be a good fourth quarter coming up.
Well, that was an exciting third quarter. It wasn't an extremely well-played third quarter, though, was it?
No, there was some mental miscues and just some physical miscues as well throughout the quarter. But we're right where we started the quarter, a 3-goal lead for Mercersburg. So they'll look to hang on here in the fourth. While we've got a moment, Rick, there's been some exciting news for the Mercersburg campus here, and I'm sure you'd like to share some of that.
Well, we're actually very excited. Obviously, everything that we do is driven by our programming and our students and their welfare and their participation, but we're extremely excited. We're in the midst of building the Hale Fieldhouse, which will house a 200-meter track with 6 turn lanes, 8 sprint lanes. That's in the middle of construction right now. We'll open that, we think, in mid-November. Very exciting. It'll be used by a number of our teams, including lacrosse. To be honest with you, in the winter, there's a dedicated lacrosse wall as part of that facility. We've gotten the fast track, and this is the first time we're publicly talking about this, actually. So Strive Network gets the
big exclusive
the big
here.
exclusive on this one. But we have been planning to build a new pool, a new aquatic center for a number of years. We're now fast-tracked on that, and we expect to begin construction on that new aquatic center summer 2017 with the probable moving-in date of late fall, early winter of 2018.
Oh, that's some terrific news. I'm sure that's got to be a beautiful new setup coming for Mercersburg.
It is. And the thing about it is we wanted something to service our competitive swim program, which was one of our legacy programs, but something that would also serve the rest of the school. So we're building a 50-meter pool, which is an unusual entity for a high school to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just sounds great, and some exciting news and an exciting couple of buildings being put up on the campus. So that's really some great stuff. We're happy to hear that and looking forward to seeing it when it's completed in a couple of years.
There's the shot.
Yeah, we start the fourth quarter and a quick shot was blocked, and it will be Peddie possession here.
Lucas, one of the interesting things about this game thus far is if you looked at the stats, the team that wins the faceoff, the majority of time is typically the team in control.
Mm-hmm.
Mercersburg's defense, I think we need to give a lot of recognition to them thus far.
Yeah.
In the fact that they've played on their end a lot, especially in the second half, and been able to make some things happen.
Yeah, they've really been solid defensively. Let's see if Peddie tries to work this play again. We've seen it a couple of times here. Starting in the near corner. Now it's passed around, and looks like, again, a nice defensive work to get those slides and keep the chance from out in front by the Blue Storm.
Well, that's Alex DeGrange, number 21. Tommy Cremens, number 11, is another good defender. There's been actually, that's Garrett making a good defensive play.
Yeah, that was a strong play. He just swatted the ball loose and scoops it up. Now he's working past a couple of hits and checks and gets all the way ahead. So strong play there. And it'll be possession for Mercersburg.
Well, Alex DeGrange, number 21, I was just talking about. We're talking about that defense. 3-sport athlete, plays football, runs track, another one of those indoor track guys, and also plays some pretty good lacrosse. When you watch those long poles out there, the best of them have good, quick feet and good, quick sticks. They're able to get on that guy's hands, and Alex does a nice job with that.
Here's Nelson with a shot. He scored. Wow. Another rocket. He just gets it underneath the crossbar and in. And it's 10-6 now with 10:21 to go in this contest. Finally opening that 4-goal lead.
Unlike that last one, I don't think there was any question there. He was shooting.
Yeah, that was a great shot, and you see the replay. I mean, he lets off another cannon, and that's tough to stop.
And Nick Nelson looking really good on that offensive end.
Oh, Nelson's got his third goal of the afternoon, and it's the largest lead now, 10-6, with just over 10 minutes to play in this contest. Again, back to the faceoff. So you might expect here pretty soon to see if Mercersburg can get possession. Maybe we've seen some slow possessions already, but see if they start holding on. But here's another possession for Peddie, so we'll have to wait and see as they continue to control the faceoffs.
Well, and again, a nice shot by Nelson. Mercersburg's offense doing a much better job now that they're untracked. But I think we, again, have to go back to that defense and what they're able to do and how that's working for them. Because, again, another turnover, a missed shot, those types of things, they're making that transition, giving their offense opportunities.
There's a blocked shot, and it's another ground ball picked up by Malcolm. He's got a handful of those today. He's been pouncing on all those ground balls, and he'll slow things down and start the clear. Now a long pass didn't quite work out. It's still loose right near midfield, and it's worked ahead and cleared by Cremens. Here's Rhett Cannon. Moves to his right into the box and will work in at goal line extended now at X.
And Tommy Cremens doing a nice job of getting that across. He's a verbal commit to Holy Cross. He's another one of those 11th graders. It's a team that's pretty heavy with 11th graders and then drops down into some 10th graders. A couple 9th graders on this varsity for Mercersburg.
Yeah, this is an exciting future for the next couple of years for sure. No seniors on the roster, so that means good times ahead for the next couple of years. Under 9 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. 10-6 lead for Mercersburg. It's Shulkin who plays it towards the middle. No one was really there, but it's still scooped up here by Delala. He gets taken down. A flag has been thrown, so they'll have an opportunity here for free possession.
You know, Lucas, I think that, it was a nice pass, or the attempt was a nice pass, I should say, by Shulkin at that point. And, of course, we have 20/20 hindsight here. You almost look at it and say he probably should have taken that shot.
Oh, here's a shot and a goal. Oh, a terrific effort by Colin Adams for his third goal of the game. Oh, just using his size that time, and almost a no-look shot. And he beats the goaltender for an 11-6 lead.
Pretty much was. That's a nice little move. He went to his left again.
And looking at the replay again, again, using that big frame that he's got, and then, boom, just goes low, looking the other way, basically. 11-6 lead now. The largest lead now, 5 goals, as Adams got his third. Nelson has 3. Cannon and Shulkin with 2 apiece. Those are the guys you expect to score scoring, and that's why it's an 11-6 lead.
Well, and I think that's the other thing is that's another thing with this Mercersburg team. That's another scorer, another good athlete who's a 3-sport kid. Colin Adams is a quarterback on the football team. He plays on the varsity basketball team and is one of the leading scorers on the lacrosse team.
Yeah, it's some real good athletes on the team for sure. As Nelson got taken down on the faceoff, so Mercersburg gets possession, 8:10 to go, and they lead by 5. Another important possession here. Maybe try, as we've said a handful of times, to slow it down and make it a good one, or at least run some clock off. Hendrickson passes straight on for Nelson, and now Hendrickson gets it right back, near side of the turf. Goes to his left, and nice little dodge move there. Gets free, and then has it knocked away. It's loose, kicked out, and up to pick it up is Levis. And now, what do we have? A call against Mercersburg, and so Peddie will get possession.
Well, that's where you can tell Mercersburg is a little young. Hendrickson with a nice move, but at the same time, that's a 9th grader out there doing a couple things. He probably should have gotten rid of the ball earlier.
No, 7.5 to go, fourth quarter. It's a 5-goal lead. And Peddie will call timeout here, as they know every possession they get is almost at this point a must score. As they trail by 5, it is 11-6 late here in the fourth quarter. So again, as we mentioned off the top, Mercersburg trying to snap the losing streak against Peddie, as it's been a while since they've won, particularly here, if ever. And so last year was a 1-goal game, and Peddie has dominated the season series, the head-to-head matchups, in the recent history, but so far so good for Mercersburg.
Yeah, we're still 7.5 minutes away from this one, but right now, it looks like Mercersburg is starting to gain control of the flow of the game. Despite not being able to control the face-offs, that defense has played very well. They've benefited in couple of ways, but that defense has really made some things happen. The passing looks good, and they're taking good shots. And, the shooters are now on.
Yeah.
When your shooters are on, that helps. And that last shot and score by Colin Adams, for example, is evidence of that. And, that's the other – this is a young team. They're all developing. But one of the things that we see happening, even with Shulkin as the leading scorer, I think Adams is the second leading scorer. Today, 2 of the most electrifying goals have come from Nelson. One of the things that's occurring with this team is that more and more weapons are developing across the board. So that depth and that development makes them that much harder to defend. Yeah,
it's been a good balanced attack here this afternoon. It's an 11-6 lead, and we've seen Mercersburg. We saw it at the end of the first half, about almost the final 8 or 9 minutes of that first half. they really started to take control and took over in that first half. And now here in the second half, it's been really this whole fourth quarter. They've been in pretty solid control. And that's been the difference in this contest so far. 5-goal lead. Peddie has possession, though, on the right side of the field. And like we mentioned before that timeout, this feels like a must score. And they'll start in the corner again of the box.
It's going to be tight. And, you know, we talked about those face-offs being important. Just a little side note, Mercersburg actually lost its face-off, one of its primary face-off players in the very first game of the season due to just what they thought was kind of a bump injury. Turned out to be a broken collarbone.
Wow.
That was Ben Doika.
Yeah, that's a big one. Nelson has done a nice job this year, though, on the face-offs for sure. The ball is loose near the crease, and bodies are flying everywhere looking for possession. We've got a whistle, and it'll stay with Peddie. Oh, they'll have it again with 6:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Goal line extended. Peddie with possession in the box. Oh, it's knocked free again, Malcolm, and
Nice
again he
by
has.
Malcolm.
Wow, he's had a terrific game today. We've mentioned his name a couple of times. Now he puts the ball on the turf right at midfield and got a hold on Peddie, so he earns possession for Mercersburg, and another strong play by him.
Yeah, Malcolm's had a heck of a game on defense today. And now I think you'll see Mercersburg. That obviously there's the controlled offense, but I think you'll see a pretty methodical approach here. You know, work the ball around, make sure you have good shots. You know, they're not going to stall it out, but they're going to take their time to get a 5-goal lead.
Right. Make it as good as you can make it with 6:15 to go in the fourth. Rhett Cannon has it near side. Passes in behind at X now. It's Colin Adams. He's got 3 goals. Sends it far side for Hendrickson. And we'll keep it moving right up top for Cantera. Now it's Delala again. In over the box. Down the left wing. Looks and plays it back behind. Goal line extended for Adams.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Adams get an isolation play here because he's good with both his left and his right. And as soon as I say that, he gives up the turnover.
A nice stick check, and he poked it out of there. So we've seen a couple of strong plays from him. But look at another loose ball, and let's see who's going to get this ground ball. It's still free in the attack zone here, and Rhett Cannon comes away with it. So they, again, survive that near turnover and get it right back with 5:20 to go. Well, we'll see if they can slow things down again and maybe make it even more deliberate.
Maybe give Colin another shot there.
Right, here's a shot that goes wide. No one there to back up, though, and so it just rolls out of the end line, and Peddie will get possession. So that was a quick shot again for the Blue Storm.
Yeah, and again, that's some of that youth. That's Benji Cantera out there, and you know, you're working the ball around. You want to get good shots, but you also want to have that goal backed up. But this is a chance for them to learn a little bit as they work their way through Maple play.
Right. Everything's a learning experience. We see another goaltender going way out there. We saw Dillard do it earlier. He hasn't really done it since that first one that didn't work out very well. This time it's Feldman who works it ahead and eventually gets the clear. Pass across by O'Neill. A shot goes high. It's backed up right into the stick, though, of Harney. And so Peddie has it still with 4:35 to go in the fourth quarter.
I tell you what, that was a nice play by Stoner because he jumped out there to help his goalkeeper out and help deflect that off. And that's another one of those young players from Mercersburg on defense.
Yeah, another sophomore there. There's a bouncing shot that's stopped nicely by Dillard. He smothers it in the crease and a look ahead to try to clear. It's Malcolm far side. Malcolm looks and feeds it up the Miller for Delala, who tries to use that speed down the right side. He gets shoved out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Peddie.
Yeah, probably should have given that one up. I mean, you know, again, it's easy for us to second guess.
Right.
And James has usually got the speed that will get him up that sideline like that. But in that case, Peddie did a nice job of sealing him off on the sideline.
Yeah, they got the angle that time. Oh, and he comes over and then took a penalty on the play as he knocked down William Morris. And so Delala will have to sit for just a bit with 3:56 to go and another extra man opportunity. Morris slow to get up for Peddie, and that's their most important player. So coaches are going to go check on him and the trainers as well, just to make sure. But he appears to be, at least from up here, to be okay.
Well, Delala's got to do a better job with that. I mean, he's had such a good game. He's played very, very well. Give up a turnover and get frustrated, come back and do something like that is not the way that, you know, he's a very capable player in that regard. Some of that maturation process and, you know, learning from those types of things. And, you know, let's see once again that Mercersburg defense is going to have to lock it down.
They've been good the last couple of extra man opportunities that Peddie has had. It is William Morris still out there. Aiden O'Neill as O'Neill has it straight on, steps into the box. A little skip pass to Bradley. Now it's Morris. Right back for Bradley. Goal line extended near side. Again for Morris. Top of the box finds O'Neill. Flicks it further. And now comes back to the near side for Morris. Couldn't quite scoop it up. It was a bouncer, but now he gets it right near the sideline. 3:25 to go. Fourth quarter, still 11-6. So Peddie's been chasing this deficit for a while, but we haven't seen a whole lot of goals here the last 5 or 6 minutes. Another loose ball, and there's a hold against Mercersburg, so Peddie maintains possession.
That's Daniel Bones in there, number 25, another one of those 11th graders, another three-sport athlete, actually, that made a nice little play. Got called for the hold, but he disrupted the Peddie offensive flow.
He
there's
did.
A turnover.
Yeah, it was either a block shot or a turnover, whatever it was. It was Cantera who got in the way, and the ground ball is scooped up here by Cremens. He'll back up, looks for an outlet, and plays it to his goaltender, Dillard. Right up the middle, and the clear continues. They get it over midfield. DeGrange sends it for Cantera. 2:40 to go, fourth quarter, and it's 11-6 Mercersburg. We'll see how much time they can bleed off the clock this time before getting that shot they want to get late here in the fourth. Leading by 5, and although it's never comfortable, it's starting to feel a little better as the clock continues to wind.
Yeah, especially when they can go even up. They're still playing a man down.
Right.
So once they can go back even, they should be in pretty good shape.
Nelson finds Cantera, who goes to his right, defended, but keeps on moving. To the box.
Yep, gets that touch in there.
Yeah, and
got a flag.
There's
on that
the
one,
flag.
to the head.
Yeah, as continues to work though with the flag down. Under 2 minutes to play, and now Delala's been released.
And if you're Mercersburg, everything's in your favor now. You've got the flag, you've got the time, you've got the lead, and they're just going to work the ball around and be smart with it.
Mercersburg trying to get right back on the winning side of things after losing earlier this week. 3-game winning streak was snapped, but looks pretty good now for their 8th victory of the season with 1:35 to go, leading by 5. Big stretch of games coming up still. Here's a shot from Nelson that goes off the side of the cage, and now it's picked up by Feldman, and that'll get the whistle, and the penalty will be called. So big stretch run coming up for Mercersburg. A couple of tough games ahead, trying to finish strong in this second season as 1:26 to go, and it'll be an extra man opportunity for Mercersburg as you see the upcoming schedule for the Blue Storm.
Yeah, we have Mercersburg's part of the Mid-Atlantic Prep League, but we're also part of another league, the Metro Independent Lacrosse League. Monday we'll host St. Maria Goretti in a rematch of an earlier game that we were fortunate to win by a goal. We played some great offense in the closing minutes there to come from behind. And then hopefully, to be honest with you, we get a rematch with the Heights. Coaches feel and the players also felt that while the Heights is very good, that we just hadn't played our best.
There's a goal in front of the net by Nick Shulkin. He gets his third of the game, and now the Blue Storm doubling up the Falcons. It's 12-6.
And, continuing along that line after the game with the Heights, there'll be a little bit of a break, and then we rotate into we've saved the best for last, Lucas, to be honest with you. The last 3 games of the season, we play the Maple perennial power, Lawrenceville. We play the newest power in the Maple and nationally recognized the Hun School.
Right.
And then we play an extremely good Kiski team as part of our Centennial Cup rivalry. But that's, Coach Conklin told me, he said, I like the way this plays out. Our young guys get all that experience, and we're ready to go in those last 3 games.
Yeah, building throughout the season, getting better and better. That's the idea. And like you said, tough finish to the year, but about to pick up another big victory. Here's a chance in front and a goal. A quick hitter with under a minute to go. It's now 12-7. As Shant Sahakian gets the goal for Peddie, and now it's 12-7.
Well, you got a couple backups. You got 3 long poles in there. 3 new long poles, I should say, for Mercersburg. Not quite up to the flow of the game, but that's all right. They'll tighten it in again. And I have to tell you, this is actually, Mercersburg lacrosse had bottomed out for a bit. Coach Conklin's got us going in the right direction. This 8 wins will be a season high for the last 8 years.
Wow.
And we'll go 2-2 in the Maple with this victory, which actually puts us with our best record in the Maple in 8 years as well.
Yeah, it's been a strong campaign for sure this year. As you can tell, things are going in the right direction under Mike Conklin, his second season here as the head man. He's been here since 2011 as an assistant as well. And he is, we mentioned, got things going in the right direction. 45 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. 12-7 Mercersburg. As Peddie has possession again off of another controlled faceoff. Far side, it is Dylan Clancy. Goal line extended now. He spins off of the defense, puts the ball on the turf, and a battle for the ground ball is won by Nick Nelson. He scampers ahead from right to left, and now we'll get over midfield and slow things down with 20 seconds to go here in the fourth. Steps into the box, and just let the clock expire here essentially in a nice victory, and good to get that victory here off this team's back.
It is, and Lucas, like I said, I'm not sure. I don't know if we've ever beaten Peddie at Peddie,
right.
But I know that it has not happened in the last 10 years. And you know what? Give Mercersburg credit. Peddie played a very nice game. They were ready for him when they came up. They took the early lead, and Mercersburg, as they have been doing, kept chipping away, and really took control of this game. And it was interesting in the second quarter and the fourth quarter. So in the second part of each half, they were able to far more take control than they were in the first earlier parts.
As the final horn blows, it's a 12-7 victory for Mercersburg. They snapped that long losing streak against Peddie. It had been 9 straight years with a Peddie victory over the Blue Storm, but that ends here today as the Blue Storm win it 12-7. Big victory for them, and as you said, 8 wins, the high for a number of years for this program, and a big one as they get ready for those the big contests coming up. So a big one, and really a great game here today.
Oh, thanks, Lucas. That was I think it was a pretty good overall performance by a very young team. And right now, we don't see a ceiling. That's what we're so excited about at Mercersburg. We talked about not having any seniors. We talked about all the young kids. Talk about the better play. Very disciplined team. That's a lot of discipline out there, and that comes from Coach Conklin and Coach McNeil. They do a really nice job with these guys, and there's not a ceiling. They're going to take a few bumps and bruises here the rest of the season, but to grab this victory is a big step for that program.
12-7 final here this afternoon at the Peddie School. That'll just about do it for us here on this Saturday. For Rick Hendrickson, again, thanks so much for joining us, the athletic director for Mercersburg. Really great to have you on the broadcast. It was a whole lot of fun today.
Well, thank you, Lucas. And again, we always enjoy the Strive Network broadcast. We're great partners, and we just look forward to it every year. We'll do it again next year.
You better believe it. For Rick Hendrickson and my producer today, Simon Rosenwasser, this is Lucas Favali saying so long and have a great rest of your Saturday, everyone.